If you grew up in the United States, you might remember the Presidential Fitness Challenge. Sit-ups, push-ups, running the mile. I hated all of it. Because at the age of 10, I had what a doctor described in my medical file as large, pendulous breasts. My boobs were so big that I developed a condition called costochondritis. You can get costochondritis by having a chest that is too large for your frame, or by being kicked in the chest. And because they didn't make supportive double D bras for little girls, I had to run the mile while my boobs flopped around, and my classmates taunted me, calling me Jigglypuff. I was always bigger than my classmates, and I knew that, but I was really athletic. At 5'3", I played center for my basketball team. I was so good that I won the Dennis Rodman Award for most rebounds in the league. And I'm from a Nigerian family. So despite being called shapely or womanly as a child, which I now know are not ways to describe a child, my little kid brain couldn't fathom that these could possibly be insults. I took them as compliments. I mean, people were always smiling when they called me voluptuous. And it wasn't all that bad being a big kid, because the only place that carried little girl clothes, or girl clothes at all, in my size was the women's section at Macy's. I was the best dressed kid around. I had a nice pair of slacks and a button-down for every occasion. I hadn't yet been socialized to believe that being big was bad. That is, until they decided to weigh us in the 5th grade. I stood in line behind the rest of my class, totally unaware that my life was about to change forever. As we marched towards our gym teacher, Mr. Flanagan, he announced everyone's numbers. 88, next. 97, next. And when it was my turn, I stood on the scale and waited. He looked down, and then he looked back up, and he looked down again. And then Mr. Flanagan motioned for me to come closer. And he said, "Do you want me to whisper it to you?" And he covered our faces with his clipboard. And I said, "Sure. I don't know why he wants to whisper, but clearly he has a reason." And he whispers, 166. This means nothing to me. I'm a kid. So I turn around to go play, and that's when I hear it. Some scrawny blonde says, "Ew, what a fatty." And I'm instantly shocked and mortified and embarrassed and ashamed, because I'm realizing it's possible to be big in a bad way, and other people know it. I made a vow to never hear those whispers again. The good thing about having to wear a bra at such a young age is that I could hide my gas station diet pills in there. I couldn't put them in my pockets for fear that they might slip out while I was fishing for a Pokemon card or something. Despite my best efforts, though, those types of taunts continued through high school, where I met and eventually married the first person who asked me out. There's too many ahs in this story, but we're getting to it. I figured I had to jump at the chance. A few years into the relationship, my future ex-husband cheated on me with someone from his running group. And I was devastated and so disappointed, and I was desperate to regain control. And I kept telling myself this wouldn't have happened if I were skinny. So I did the most obvious thing next. I decided to run a marathon. I went on an extreme diet of 500 calories a day. And I trained every single day at the MMA gym on the rowing machine. I fainted like once a week, but it was okay, because I wasn't hearing those taunts, was I? One of these days, as I was punishing myself at the rowing machine, I saw this woman wrestling with a man in one of the MMA classes. Okay, she wasn't just wrestling this man, she was kicking his ass. And as I'm rowing, I'm thinking, well, she's not skinny, and she's not fat either. She's just strong and capable. And I thought about her later that night, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and every day I was waking up at the crack of dawn to run 15 miles, and it hit me that I was angry. You mean to tell me that this was an option the whole time? That I could just be strong and capable? I didn't have to suffer to be skinny? I was so angry that I wrote the queen herself, Oprah. Dear Oprah, I'm a huge fan, love the show, you're such an inspiration. But I'm very disappointed in you. Your obsession with your weight harms young girls. You know you're bigger than your size, right? Do better. She never responded to me. But that's okay, because I learned on my own that I didn't have to be skinny to be happy. I could just be strong and capable. That my weight didn't stop me from dating whoever I wanted, from being good at sports, or for having a successful career. And because of the absolute smoke show of a woman that I saw beating the crap out of some dude in my 20s, I now power lift. I'm in my 30s, and my confidence is at an all-time high. But my pendulous breasts may have swung a little too far in the other direction, because I recently saw a meme that said, if you can squat your boyfriend, dump him. So I am single, in part, because my last boyfriend only weighed 200 pounds. Thank you.
Ansa Edim.